Okay guys, so welcome to your last project. I think this thing just stopped, so let me see what the heck it just did. It did. I don't know why it did that. Your final project is titled Folded and Pleated Forms. All right. It's in some ways related to the polygonal forms project visually, but it has a difference in it in that the goal of the polygonal forms project is to create an object, right? Whereas the goal of the pleating and folding is to create space between the planes that you are folding. Okay? So we're going to start out by sort of exploring six sets of folds that you're all going to get this handout right here. Okay? It's sitting on the corner there. And we're gonna do these cutouts. All right, I'm gonna demonstrate how you do them, and you guys are going to, kind of go through the process. The first part of this exercise is to kind of understand what happens when you fold things up to create space between the levels. Okay, so one of the things that I need you guys to do is it's important that the parts that you are going to crease, right, in order to bend and create your pleats, have to go across the direction of the corrugations. Okay, so on this particular sheet, when I'm looking at it, I can see that the corrugations are going this direction. And so my 8.5 by 11 is going to go across that. So the corrugations are going that way, my 8.5 by 11 is going this way. Because what's going to happen is each of these little strips that we have here, A through F, right, has creases that are going this direction, which is across the direction of the corrugation. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and tape this down so that it doesn't move on me, and I'll make the cuts. Okay, so each of these strips, A through F, is intended to be set up side by side so that you can compare them. Okay, so as you go cutting these things, understand that what you want to do is a comparative analysis between the final form of the 6 different strips that you're folding. Okay, so here goes. I'm going to go ahead and cut the first one. All right, so the first one I'm cutting is A, and I'm going to literally cut it out from the 8.5 by 11, leaving the edges of the 8.5 by 11. So I've cut kind of 2 strips out. One of the things that I want to do is I want to make sure that I transfer these lines, these folded lines, okay, to the piece that I'm about to cut out. So I'm going to take my blade, this blade right here, or a pin like this, and I'm going to put marks where each of the edges of these things go. Careful not to poke yourself if you're doing this with a pin. All right, so there's that. Now I gotta do these. You could actually, if you wanted to, do this entire process ahead of time, so you could continue on to all of them. Okay, marking each of the fold lines. So right there, I've marked them all. And what I'm going to do is finish cutting this piece out and then create the folded object. Okay, so there's the piece right there that I've cut out. Now, this thing is still sitting on top of it, but once I lift it off, I'm going to lose those words, right? And so what I want to do is I want to make sure that I write those words so that I can see what the instructions are. And I'll explain what I mean by in and out. Okay? So I'm going to just take probably this pen so that that thing can see a little better. And I'm going to scribble on here. Out, out, and then in and in. The other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put a big letter A right here at the bottom, corresponding to that letter A. Let me make sure that the camera sees that. Okay, you can see that? All right, so what we mean by in is that when the A, or the letter A, B, C, D, E, and F are on the ground facing you, okay, that it's going to fold in over top of that, and the other ones are going to fold the opposite direction, which is out. Okay, so there it goes. So if I'm going to fold in, which is this direction, what side do I have to put the creases on? The back side. So for when I'm going to go in, I have to flip the thing over and crease the opposite side. So here it goes. All right, and so there is a set of creases on the back side from here. Okay. Now, one of the things that I want you guys are going to have to do eventually is you're going to have to analyze each of these strips. Right now, so that I can get you guys started building the models, I'm going to let you just go through the process of making them. But the end result of what we're trying to do is to see what the folds characteristics are to the final form that we're making. In this particular case, there are 4 fold lines, okay? They are perpendicular to the length of the strip, so they're 90 degrees to it. They're not at an angle. They're all parallel to each other. And they are an equal distance apart where they're paired up. So these two are the same distance apart as those two. So those are some of the characteristics that you guys will be asked to look at, and then you're gonna explain how those characteristics equate to this form. Okay? All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is kind of crease this along that bend, and bend the other one, and there is my first level. Okay. So let's sure the camera sees that. The letter A is still on the under level. Okay, so now I have to fold out, which is going to fold the opposite direction. So I'm going to make the creases on this side. And there is my second set of folds. Okay, I'm going to go check and see how much time that we've got on the video because I don't want it to get too long. Oh, that's long enough.